This is really cool. I really like this patch. Elevation Rhythm has been taking over the youth worship scene with hits like Goodbye Yesterday, This Is the Gospel, At the Altar, and more. Their music features a unique fusion between modern, grungy pop, gospel chord progressions, and a foundation on that contemporary worship sound. And the keys parts reflect this. In this video, I'm going to identify some of the common parts, sounds, and ideas that they use in a variety of their songs so that you can sound like Elevation Rhythm. Let's start by talking about the general style choices Elevation Rhythm makes in their music. In upbeat songs like Praises and This Is the Gospel, you'll find some chord progressions that are out of the norm for most worship songs. These chords could be described as non-diatonic or not belonging to the original key of the song. A great example of this is the song Praises, and it sounds like this. And then watch this. These chords are what make the song interesting to listen to from the get-go. If your ear is trained to listen for diatonic chords, most of the time, a song like this would immediately grab your attention because it's different, which some could say is the point of the song anyway. Another song with a great chord progression is This Is the Gospel, and this is what it sounds like. Something I always notice about Elevation Rhythm is the instrumentation of their songs. All the parts are so well planned out. None of the instruments take up the majority of the space. It's like they all take turns featuring their voices, and it creates this really locked-in, intricate sound. And this translates to the keys parts. Let's talk specifically about piano parts first. Many of the piano parts, especially in the more upbeat songs, are plucky chord rhythms mixed with melodic runs, like this part in Goodbye Yesterday. In their ballad-style songs like Over and Over or At the Altar, the piano parts often sit really close to the vocal melody, embellishing it by adding arpeggios between the notes. In the song Over and Over, it sounds like this. Now let's talk about sounds. Elevation Rhythm tends to keep their keys parts pretty organic, not using lots of synth sounds or crazy layering of pads and arps. Almost all their songs feature a piano as the main instrument, though the style of piano definitely varies based on the intensity of the song. You'll also often hear an organ, most likely a B3 or smaller, denser style of organ. Most of the time, Elevation Rhythm actually has a second person designated to play the organ, so those parts can be entirely separate from the piano, which makes for some really cool instrumentation, but provides a bit of a challenge when you're trying to replicate that as a single player. One of my favorite examples of this is in the song This Is the Gospel. There is this really cool and intricate organ line in the bridge that sounds like this. In some of their upbeat songs, you can hear synth bass, sometimes a synth lead, or a bright pad that lands strong attacks. But beyond that, there's really not many other synthy sounds, which, in my opinion, leaves some space for some pretty cool guitar parts. So with this knowledge, let's attempt to build a patch that you could use for an Elevation Rhythm song. I'm going to be using the Sunday Keys app to create this patch entirely from scratch. Sunday Keys has a library with hundreds of unique sounds designed specifically for worship music. Every sound you've heard so far in this video has come straight from the Sunday Keys app with no post-processing applied. This app is a great tool for worship keys players, especially if you want to create easy-to-use patches just like the one we are going to create now. So if I'm going to play an Elevation Rhythm song, I'm probably going to want a piano that is pretty bright. So let's go to acoustic piano and keys, and I'm gonna find, I could do a grand piano or I could do an upright piano. Both are great options, but I like the Sunday keys upright, and I'm gonna do the room variation because a lot of their songs sound more enclosed and more like you've got instruments right next to each other playing with each other in a small space. And it can get pretty bright if I play it loud enough. I'm also gonna grab an organ. Let's see, B3 organ. I'm gonna grab the Gospel 2 variant. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm gonna bring these two sounds down so I can test out some synth bass sounds. See which one is gonna fit well with what I'm playing. So let's go to synth bass and test out a couple of these. So Elevation Rhythm, they like to do a lot of like chord stabs and quick like chord movements. So having a synth bass layered in the left-hand range of what you're playing can be really helpful to make those hits. Even if you have a bass player in your band, this can just help to amplify what they're playing. Then I'm just gonna add another sound. Let's go to the synth brass area. Find something that will layer nicely underneath the piano in case I just want to beef up what I'm playing. Okay. I think that'll be nice layered underneath. So main sound is the piano. I'm going to bring the organ in. Synth bass. And then that synth brass sound is gonna be the icing on the cake. So like the song Goodbye Yesterday, I could play something like this. Now, this patch is great, but I want to take it a step further and use another tool in the Sunday Keys app. Let's use the Sunday Keys AI Patch Builder to create a patch in the style of Elevation Rhythm. All right, let's see what it came up with. Looks like we have the DX ePiano 1 as your main instrument. Oh, and there is a synth bass for sure. Let's bring that down a bit so we can hear some of the other stuff. There's a mono lead happening, as well as, oh no, it's not the chime pad. Maybe it is the chime pad. Here, let me listen to this. Yeah, so that along with this E-piano creates kind of like a bell sound in that like right hand range, which is interesting. And then the mono lead laid underneath it. This is really cool. I really like this patch. Yeah, it definitely picked up on the synth bass and just the simple elements of having something that enhances the piano and then that main primary piano sound. So I love that. I think it's cool that the AI had the same idea as I did. So that's awesome. Now, let's say you want to play an Elevation Rhythm song, but you want to sound exactly like the recording of a specific song. Well, we've got you covered there too. Check out this song-specific patch for the song Goodbye Yesterday by Elevation Rhythm. Our song-specific patches are designed to sound exactly like the recording, with intricate parts and sounds programmed so that you can easily play all the parts and sound like a pro. So, which patch was your favorite? The one I designed first, the AI patch, or the song-specific patch? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our newest videos.